Hey guys, Bjimson Darius, aka BJ here from Dear Dad Podcast. Now, when I started this podcast, I wanted a platform where I can record and upload my content very easily. I didn't want to go through any hoops to get my podcast out there. When I did start my podcast, I was on a different platform. But after I was introduced to Anchor not once, not twice, but over 3 times by my close friends, I decided to give Anchor a try. I must say, I absolutely love it. Not only is it easy to use, but I am able to record, edit, post, and publish all my episodes right there on the app or the site. I was able to transfer all my episodes onto Anchor in less than 5 minutes. That, for me, was unbelievable. Oh yeah, here's the best thing of all. It's free. It is free to use. Yeah, I know. That's crazy, but take my word on this. It's true. Using Anchor has definitely made podcasts so easy. Trust me, you'll love it. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome to the Dear Dad Podcast. This is the place where we address dad dynamics and discuss personal experiences, stories, and poem submissions to help provide a platform for healing while simultaneously uplifting one another. Let's change the dad narrative all around. Let's go. Let's grow. Hello, you beautiful people. Thank you again for joining me at a Dear Dad Podcast. My name is Bjimson Darius, aka BJ, and today I have a wonderful guest. Listen, this guest I've been following on Instagram for a while. He's doing his thing. He's doing his thing for a while now. I've been monitoring him for a while. Ever since I started this podcast, there's a couple of people that I've been following, and the reason I follow them is because it's a relationship that they have with their family, with their child, with their wife, and I've been monitoring him for a while, and the fact that he accepted this offer for season 3, I'm so honored and blessed for his presence. But I'm not going to take any shine away from him. So I'm going to introduce you guys to D. Anthony Ward.
Hey, what's good, guys? Thank you very much, brother. Thanks for having me on here.
Absolutely. So let's just jump to the first question, man. Tell me and tell the audience, who is D. Anthony?
Well, D. Anthony is a dad. He's a husband, a millennial dad. He's a content creator, filmmaker, storyteller. And I like to say that I am the family historian, right? Because I like to document pretty much everything. I mean, you should see I have the terabyte service on my Google Cloud service because I film so much things. Like I take it upon myself to be that person that is the library just for our entire family. So anything that's going to happen tomorrow, the next day, in 20 years, we will have something to talk about because I've documented it and I've put it in safe storage. So I have taken it upon myself to be the self-proclaimed historian of the Ward family.
Nice. I couldn't agree anymore because my wife and I would do that intentionally. We record as much as we can because we want to document as much as we can. It's not only for us, it's mostly for our son. Yeah. And also to look back to our family, enjoy it. But primarily right now, we're doing it because of him. We want him to look back and say, oh, mom did this. Oh, dad did this. Oh, I went to this place. I went to this location. So you have a pretty much a visual and audio journal of his life, right? And he's able to like say, oh, I went to Germany with my mom when I was like so and so years old with my dad. And now he's able to like know these things. So now he's just like, okay, now I can do these things. I'm able to like I've been to Germany. I can go to Germany. I've been to Europe. Let me go to Europe. I've been to Paris. Let me go to Paris. So it's a journey that he can just say, 1, I've been there, and 2, I can go there again. My parents have done these things. I can do it as well. So it's definitely something that we've been trying to do.
Yeah, social media is like the new photo album, right? Because my family, my mom, they're from Alabama. And I remember going down to Alabama when we were kids, like 10, 11 years old, and they call her Big Mom. Big Mom will come, pull out the big book of pictures, and then deep in the 25, 30 siblings, I can see my mom at the age of 4 or 5 years old, and I'm like, what? And they have all these pictures from when she's 13 to 15, but those get lost, right?
Yeah.
Because they're down in Alabama and they stay down there. But now with what I'm doing, I'm just using Instagram as a public library to like house all of this kind of stuff.
Right.
To house my son's first steps, our first interaction. So I'm literally documenting all of this for the sake of when he gets to be 30, 45 years old, instead of going looking for a box in the attic with all of our pictures and stuff in it.
Dust it off.
Oh yeah, instead of that, what he's going to have to do is go find that link. To where these pictures and these videos are. So that's my objective, man.
It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. And again, my wife and I, we archive all this stuff. We have terabytes and terabytes of just like videos, and that takes space. But we digress with that. So let's move on. Let me just dive a little deeper. So tell me about your dad.
So my dad, we have an interesting relationship. So he wasn't around growing up, or maybe I should say he was around, but he wasn't physically around. I knew where he was,
right?
But we didn't grow up in the house with him. Which some would argue that's probably worse than him not being around at all. So he had a drug problem the entire time that I was young. And when I got to college, we started to kind of rekindle some things. I never really held a grudge. I was never really that angry kid that said, "Oh, my dad wasn't there, so I'm going to go and act up and all that kind of stuff." Now, subconsciously, if I look back, maybe some of that happened, but it never was a chip on my shoulder. I was never the forget my dad type of person, right? Because I always wanted the relationship however I can get it.
Right.
If he came in, I don't know if you know the habits of somebody who's like recovering, but they do this thing where they come in your life for a little while, and then their addiction and things takes them out of your life for maybe 6 or 7 months at a time.
Right.
Then they come back in for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Then they leave, and that's the cycle. So that's the cycle that I was used to for a very long time, and I was okay with that because that was normal to me. So I wanted the relationship however I can get it. If it was for 3 weeks out the year, then that was just my normal to me.
Wow.
Right? But as we got into college, we started to rekindle a bit more. He started to call a little bit more, and today we talk pretty often. But the thing is it's not a father-son relationship.
Okay.
So it's not like I go and I vent to him or I ask him for advice. It's nothing like that. It's literally just a relationship where we just talk about what he did, almost like just friends. So that's the thing I think that I'm missing, like that real fatherly, "Hey Dad, what do you think I should do about this?" I've never had that, and it's very possible that I will probably never ever have that
right.
ever now. So right now our relationship is good. I mean, it is what it is. It's not the ideal father-son relationship, but it's my life, and there's not much that I can do to change that.
Right. And you know what? And I've definitely went through that or did with my dad. Not too long ago, I was talking to my cousin. He's like, so he said, "I don't know which one is worse. One that you have a dad that comes to the house but is pretty much invisible, doesn't do anything, doesn't contribute, don't do anything. Whereas my dad, I saw him in family function, and I would go home, he was not there. So I don't know which one was worse. I'm not saying which one is worse than the other. I think both of them is bad, but it's a double-edged sword. So just to think about it, for me, the effect that it had on me, where I would go to family parties and he's there. I would see him sometimes in the weekend, sporadically, and then he would never be home, and I would see him maybe once, maybe twice every month or something like that. And I know where he's at, and I've seen him a couple of times, but for him to be in the household at the same time was something that would never had, and still today have an impact on me.
Yeah. I think a lot of that may have an impact on me, but I don't necessarily play victim too well. And not to say that psychologically this stuff didn't affect me. I'm pretty sure it did. I just can't necessarily explain it. But I'm very good at accepting things for what they are, which is why when I was younger, he came around, and when he came around, I had fun. We talked, or he bought me a water gun, or whatever the case may be. But I just accepted it for what it is, and even to today, I accept our relationship for what it is. It doesn't have to be, oh son, come over, let's have a beer, or oh son, come over, let's watch the game. That's not my life,
Right.
and it will never be my life. So, I just take what it is, and maybe some of the things that I do with Taj probably stems from not having that relationship. I think that I'll be naive to think that my enthusiasm as a dad today has not been influenced by the lack of father relationship from when I was younger. I think that there's probably a big influence that I can't necessarily explain because I'm not like a psychologist. But I think that if I were to bet, there's some kind of correlation between the two.
Yeah, absolutely. I know one of my brothers was saying where he is, and I was trying to grab out to him, like, what is it? How is it just affecting you? And he was saying, you know what? All I can say is that I just enjoy the time that I spent with him.
Yeah.
The amount of time that I spent with him, even when I couldn't see him, I always longed to be with him. So even when he was not there, and I wanted him to be there, that's one of my half brothers. I wanted him to be there. I never held a grudge for him. I couldn't say I hated him. I couldn't say I despise him. But all I cared about was his presence. Whenever he was able to cater to me, come to see me, and was able to take me out to eat, that's all I look forward to. So that's all the memories that I've been holding on to, and it keep me positive, which is a different way of approaching that. And I think that's something that similar that you're doing as well, where you're not thinking about the negative. Just saying, you know what, I was able to see him for 2 days, for 3 days. I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna take it for what it is. That's pretty much it.
That's it, man. That's exactly it. Just whatever I get. This is what I got. So I can whine over it, or I can just go ahead and embrace what I have here and keep those.
Absolutely. What are some memories or good memories you have of your dad?
A lot of them, or all of them, are from when I was very, very little, and I think it's from that time where you're just so enthusiastic about everything. Like going fishing was one. I remember we went fishing. I feel like everybody like takes their kid fishing, and that's probably a memory that a lot of people have. But I remember because I think my grandfather was there, and I didn't know my grandfather very well either. And I remember catching a fish, or I remember throwing the rod in there. I'm not a fisher, so if there are any fishermen listening, I'm about to get all of this vocabulary incorrect. So I throw the rod in the lake. I'm from Cleveland, so this is Lake Erie. Throw it in the lake, and I remember reeling it in, and I got this fish, and I'm like mad excited. I'm like 5 years old, and fast forward to maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, I'm talking to my dad, and that's one of the memories that I brought up. I was like, do you remember when we went fishing when I was 5 and I caught my first fish? He says, yeah, you didn't catch your first fish. What do you mean? He said, I put that fish on the hook. So he put the fish on the hook and let me throw it in the water, and it looked like I did my own. It was like, that's something I'm probably gonna do to Taj, but that's
smart.
Right.
That's smart. That's actually good. Look how much of an impact it had on you. You cherish that moment up until you became an adult. It was just like, well, this really didn't happen. But by this time, that memory has already been enriched. It's already been archived. And so whatever he says, it doesn't really matter anymore. It's just like, I've been having this memory. I'm gonna hold on to it, which is really, really, really good.
It was dope. It was dope that he added to it, because in my head the whole time I was like, oh yeah, I caught my first fish, and I was thinking that for the last 20 years. Then he comes in, adds more information onto that memory, and makes it an even better memory for me. Right. So now I have two memories: the time that I thought I caught a fish, and the time that he told me that I didn't catch a fish.
So what kind of characteristics in your dad that you find in yourself, and maybe even I'm gonna say in your son, but maybe it's kind of too early for now, but some characteristics you find in yourself that your dad has?
Man, I love that question. I really do. And it's because I have this media company, and it's called Tony Captured Studios. Right. And let me tell you why I named it that. my mom always used to say, you do a lot of the stuff that your dad was interested in, but he never really went through with it all.
Mm-hmm.
So my name is DeAnthony. My dad's name is Anthony. A lot of people call him Tony.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to name my media company Tony Captured Studios because I feel like that I'm Tony. Tony is the good version of my dad,
Mm-hmm.
captured. So all the things that I'm interested in, music, videos, creating, telling stories, are all the things that he was interested in, but he just never really manifested those things. So I think that I'm all of that captured into one thing, right? So I named my media company from when I tell stories, Tony Capture Studios. It's almost a tribute to my dad,
right?
Who wasn't necessarily in my life early on, which I think that's still an interesting thing, that he has that much impact on me still, and he wasn't even around that much,
right,
as a kid. So a lot of his creating, his musical ability, he was a drummer, musician. I get a lot of that kind of stuff from him. And I think the more that we hung out, when I was like kind of in college, I started to learn a lot more. Because when you're 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, you can't really draw parallels, right? So when I'm older, I can draw parallels to like how I laugh, or how he handles a situation, or how he thinks when he thinks out loud. That's kind of the same way that I would think. That's my same rational approach that I would take. So things that I didn't see with my mom, like, oh, me and my mom are so different. Years later, I see it with my dad as I play it back our conversations, or if I see him go through different situations and things.
And I think it's profound too. I can sit down and talk to my dad right now, and I talk to him, and I can see the so much of me, or so I say so much of him and me, the way he carries himself, the way he talks, the way he acts. I can see that demeanor in me. I mean, it's a modified version from comparison to the way he is, to the way he was doing it. But still, I see my demeanor. I mean, I early on in the podcast, I was referring to like the things that I'm doing, the things that I'm saying, the way I act. Is this you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I see it in you. And sometimes I even see it in my son. That's another thing that even scared me. Even at 3 years old, his demeanor. We can sit down right now on the couch. Both of us will cross our legs. Both of us will scratch our head at the same time. Sometimes, and I love that. I love watching my son. And sometimes I've watched my son walk away, and especially when I give him a buzz cut, and I'm watching him, I'm like, yo, that's my dad 100%, man. Like, the characters are so profound and pronounced in each and every one of us, that it's so weird. When we announced our pregnancy, as soon as you saw the head shape, he was like, oh, that's a boy. Like, there's no question. You know what I'm saying? We have the same head shape. Everything is similar. And it's so cool and scary at times. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm raising my dad.
See, that's cool for me, because it's just another thing to kind of hold on to, right? Because as you're learning more about your dad, if you didn't get to grow up with him, you hold on to that kind of stuff. Like, I like the fact that me and my dad think the same way. Because if I have a thought, I'm like, oh, well, I got that from my dad.
Right.
And I like that, because I don't have very many things from, the time that he was kind of away. So everything that I learn, that I get, it's like I'm cherishing it more. So it's almost like I don't know if this is necessarily true, but this is what I'm thinking in my head. It's almost like I appreciate every single thing that I get right now. And I don't know. I think if I was younger and he was in our lives for a long time, I may have taken for granted a lot of the things that I may have seen with both of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if something happened where he was talking, and I said, "Oh yeah, he sounds just like me," I may not pay that much attention, because he's around all the time. Oh yeah, I hear that all the time. But now, since we have that bit of distance, I just kind of hold that a little bit longer. I hold that a little bit tighter.
Yeah. I can see that. That's awesome. In comparison to then and now, what was the dynamic between you and your dad?
I think the cut in for knowing that, okay, this is my dad, but we're not going to do father son things. I think that was a realization maybe after college.
Mm-hmm.
So before college or during college, I was thinking, okay, yeah, I can still, ask my dad questions and ask for help and guidance and all that stuff. It just was never an opportunity for us to really talk at that level.
Right.
Then when I got out of college, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, this isn't the type of relationship that we're gonna that we're gonna have. It's not that. So there was a immediate thought, a shift, and what I thought our relationship was going to be. It went from, okay, yep, we can have a father-son relationship. Yep. Nope. Now it's just kind of learning each other. Letting each other know we're there for them, like advice. He's just checking on me, seeing if I need anything, anything that he can help with.
Right.
So the dynamic changed a bit because of that whole situation.
Okay. So you just said that, there's a lot of questions that you wanted to ask him, and you couldn't because of the relationship. Even back then where he wasn't around, when he came in and he came out, came and he left. If you had the opportunity and your dad was sitting in front of you right now and you had the utmost attention from him, right?
Yeah.
And you wanted to tell him anything that you wanted to tell him, what would it be?
Oh, well, I've told him already. I've told him. The first thing that I mentioned to him was that I'm not mad. There's no grudge that I have. Because you see that a lot, especially like on TV and stuff. All movies depict like the angry black man that whose father wasn't around, and he's like, "Hey, F you, Dad. You wasn't there for me." Like, I know that that's probably what was in his head, just because of society. And my very first thing that I wanted to get across was, hey, that's not me. That's not this situation.
Right.
This isn't a movie. Right? I genuinely want us to have a relationship, and I don't hold any animosity. I'm not going to throw anything in your face. We're not going to get an argument, and I'm not going to throw a low blow and say, you weren't there for me. None of that. Right. And once we set that expectation, I think that his guard came down.
Right.
And he's able to talk as if, to learn more things about me, to express how he feels and not being walking on eggshells.
Right.
And I'm just a ticking time bomb waiting to blow up and say, well, you weren't around. So that was the very first thing that I wanted to do once I got of age to really like have the confidence to talk at that level, was to clear the air and be like, listen, there's no hard feelings. You made your decisions. I mean, it was bad for my mom, and I don't necessarily appreciate that. But at the same time, I mean, these are your decisions. You missed out on a lot of stuff, and there's nothing that anyone can do to replace any of that. But going forward, this is our relationship that we can have.
Oh, that's awesome. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I encourage that, because I spoke about this, where as children, as kids, we sometimes need to just tell our fathers that we're sorry, and two, that we're proud of them.
Yeah.
Or it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. We don't need to hold on this burden that, when are you gonna ask me this question? Or I'm sorry that I wasn't there. Like, they carry this burden. I know my dad is still carrying it until we actually have a conversation. But there's so many like baggages that's being carried, not only by my siblings, but by my dad as well. So me having a conversation with him, I allow him to know that, you know what, I'm not holding, just like you said, I'm not holding any grudge against you. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I just wanted to be there. On the same note, I took a time out and just like, I scheduled a meeting with him at his house. And before I left, I told him for the first time that I loved him. First time I loved him. And I was 37 years old. And the first time I ever told my dad I loved him. And that was the first time. And I can see the release in his face. I can see like, okay, like he can breathe again, because there was a lot he was holding on to. And as soon as I got that out, he was able to like let a lot of that stuff go. And I can tell, he even said, thank you for allowing me for saying those words.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying that those little words, we feel like it's not much, but it means so much to a lot of people. We may not don't think it means that much, but some people are just looking for those words.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. And I know that that's what was on his mind. So I decided to just go ahead, clear the air right there. What do they say? Address the elephant in the
In the
room.
room. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it was. That was the elephant. Get the elephant out the room, and now we can move forward. And we
That's
can move
beautiful.
forward with a clear mind.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, so let's change the dynamic a little bit. Let's change the mood. Let's be a little bit more personal.
All right.
Tell me about dadhood.
Dadhood, man, I highly enjoy dadhood, fatherhood. When Rachel when we found out that we were pregnant, the very first as soon as she peed on a little stick thing, I was on 10 from that moment forward. I mean, I didn't care, boy, girl, whatever the case may be. I was on 10, and I'm still on 10, which I think is crazy. I didn't have any of the sleepless nights and all that stuff. I mean, no, because I was just very excited. It was like it was like when it's Christmas the next day and you're about to play with all of your toys.
Yes.
Or the day of Christmas and you're trying to play with all your toys and you stay up all night.
Right.
Like, that's what I feel like I've been on, and it sounds a little corny, but that's the energy that I've had like this entire time. Like if it's 3 a.m, if it's 3 a.m. and Taj needed a bottle, then what I was doing was getting up, going to get that bottle, and I was completely okay with that.
Right.
Completely okay with that because that was the energy that I was bringing.
I can relate to that because when we found out that we were pregnant, I took it as far as this is pretty much a mission that I need to accomplish. One, because I wanted to be a dad. I look forward to be a dad. Like it was a dream of mine to be a dad because I wanted to show another human being what it is to love. And I feel like I knew I had a lot to love to give. I had a lot in my heart to give, and I wanted a little person to pour that into. So when he was born, it was just like game on. Like, let's not hold up. Just like you say, the bottles are changing, the diapers, everything was up to like, it wasn't a question. Like if I had to get up, I had to get up. We had time. We had to like, okay, you sleep 4 hours, and the next 2, you sleep 2 hours. The next 2 hours is me. And the next 2 hours is you, and then the next 2 hours is grandma. Like we had a system in place. It was never an issue for me to just get up and get my feed my son or take care of him because that's something that I wanted. Now I got it. It's time to go.
Yeah, I don't know the psychological thing behind it. Like I'm not like I said, I'm not like a psychologist or in the mental health field, but I was literally just on 10. I was genuinely happy, and there was no deep reason why. I wasn't like, oh, this is my chance to create a kid and love him. Like it was none of that, even though clearly all that stuff is true. But it was genuine enjoyment of having a kid and having a kid knowing that he's going to grow up and run around and we're going to go through all this stuff like that. That's just the energy that I'm on. And if you look at my my videos on Instagram, all that stuff it's just all real enjoyment.
Right.
All enjoyment. I'm literally having a ball with my kid.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Nice. That's beautiful. And before I know you mentioned that your dad was again in and out of the house. So before you became a dad, did you know what kind of dad you wanted to be? And if so, do you think you're that person now?
No, I don't think that I had an idea of what kind of dad I wanted to be. Again, I think in the movies and stuff, or not even in the movies, just even what you see somebody that didn't have their dad around, the first thing that they say is, oh, this is the type of dad that I'm going to be, or, this is what I'm going to do. I didn't have any of that thought because I'm more of an in the moment kind of person.
Okay.
I don't think too far ahead.
Okay.
So like when we had Taj, that was my first instance with any kind of kid. That was my first instance being around a baby because my friends had kids, but they weren't my kids. So, it was, and I didn't have kids. So it's like, oh yeah, my friend has a kid, but that's it. So since I'm such an in the moment kind of person, I don't know how I'm going to be. I didn't have this plan of, I'm going to do this and I'm going to have this because that just wasn't my life. But as soon as I knew that Taj was coming, that's when all the thoughts came.
Okay.
And that's when I was like, oh, yep, I'm going to be at the doctor, at every doctor's appointment because at that point, that was being a good dad, being at the doctor's appointment with my wife, right? Or, when he was born, like, yep, I'm going to be at the hospital that whole time, and I'm going to do chest to chest.
Right, right.
That was my responsibility. It wasn't like, oh, he's going to go to this college. Like, I'm not there yet in life, right? All I have is like what's around me. And when he's 1 year old, okay, I'm going to make sure I'm going to feed him every day, and I'm going to talk to him like he's an adult. So I just stick within the boundaries of what I think is acceptable, and I don't go too far forward. So right now, he's 2.5. I want to make sure he learns things. I want to make sure he's polite, knows how to talk to people, and I want him to go to the potty. Like those are my objectives. Those are my objectives. Like right now, what I really want to happen, and things happen on the fly where everything is like a learning moment. Like, he goes up on a table, that's a learning moment. Don't do that. You shouldn't do things like that. There's learning moments sprinkled throughout there. So I didn't have a definition of what kind of dad I wanted to be beforehand. But every day as I'm going through stuff and I'm seeing, my friends with their kids, and we're talking about different kind of strategies, and I'm seeing what comes naturally to some of my friends with kids, and I see I want to implement that kind of stuff in my kid and vice versa. It's now when I'm starting to do like the growing and knowing what kind of dad that I'm going to be, just because that's just my mindset.
Right. So what about when you became a dad? Was there anything you feel like you could have done different?
Yeah, I think so. I think in a couple of years, I'll probably be able to answer that question much, much, much better. I think right now, when I look back, it's weird because he's so young and everything is acceptable right now, right? Him, bumping his head is acceptable because he's a kid, or him falling off the couch like he's a kid. He does that kind of stuff, and all that kind of stuff is acceptable. So the only things that I think that I probably would have done differently, maybe started the potty training thing a little early, a little earlier. I mean, I know that's bad practical, but that's what I think right now. He's 2.5. He's developing his personality right now. I think that what I am afraid of is him being a little bit too addicted to like the iPad. Right. So that I think that I could have cooled down a little bit, because now he's starting to like maybe throw a little hissy fit if he doesn't get the iPad. If I take it away, and I think that's because I may have introduced it a little bit too many times. It was a fail safe for me. Right. I'm doing something here. Take this iPad, and I think I did that a little too many times. So I wish I can kind of erase that a bit.
Look, we all in that same bucket. I'm right there along with you. And the thing is, he's so smart. Wherever I put it, he knows exactly where it's at. If it's not there, he goes to somewhere else. He has a tablet and he has an iPad. And you get the television, and he knows how to turn the television on now, If it's on pause and I tell him, oh, look, finish your food and you can have it. As soon as he gets his food, he goes to the remote control and turns it on. This is like how quick he adapts. Yep. And he would drag me. He was like, come, daddy. And I was like, what happened? Say, it's that tablet or the iPad. I was like, nah, not right now. Like, you had to make the time for it. Yeah. And I mean, he's learning how to like take that away from him. He's learning that, okay, when we take that away from him, it's not because of a punishment. It's that we need you to learn other ways. So now let's actually write. Let's do your alphabets. Let's do your ABCs. Let's do your 1, 2, 3s, shapes, colors, and numbers. So you get to practice those things. Even when he has a tablet, it's mostly almost, I would say, 98% educational. So everything he does is educational. So I try to minimize that. But even just being on that, we're trying to minimize that. So it's hard. It's not easy. I know it's hard. When we were growing up, we didn't have any of these things. But for them, they just have that. They grew up with these things.
Well, it's kind of the same as us having TV. I think it's the same thing. I mean, they didn't want us in front of the TV, all day. We don't want them kind of in front of the iPad all day. But I do have this kind of weird fear that I throw so much kind of education and learning and things at him that he may be turned off at some point, right? And I personally have that fear. So what I try to do is, at this age where he's just absorbing everything, I try not to make everything just look like learning.
Right.
right? So I don't say, oh, here's the iPad, do your 1, 2, 3s, and do your shapes. It's more like, oh, look, I have these little letters, magnets and stuff, and I'll throw it in. I'm like, oh, this is a 1, and this is that's a 1, and stuff like that is fun for him, so he doesn't know that he's playing. So I want to keep that as much as possible before it gets into the, okay, you need to absorb this information, child. You know what I mean? So I try to make things as playful as I can right now. And soon as that stage comes where, hey, you need to study some of this stuff, right. I got a little bit more leeway for myself.
Okay, let's take a brief commercial break.
Describe to me the first moment you met your son.
Yeah, I think I've met about 5 different. I think I met him about 5 times because he changes so much, right? Remember, he's 2.5. So clearly, when he was born, looked at him, I was like, wow, that's crazy. I have a whole human in this world at the moment. And this human is mine, and they're going to give him to me and let me walk out of the hospital like
trust me,
like without a nurse or anything, right? And then just kind of learning his habits, like when he's learning his cries, what his cries meant. That was the weirdest thing for me, because I remember being around some of my other friends that had kids, and they'll cry and then they'll be like, oh yeah, she's hungry, or yeah, he's sleepy, and I'm like, how the heck do you know that? He's just crying, and it made no sense to me.
Right.
And the only thing that they said is, oh yeah, you'll know. I'm like, how? It's just a cry. But clearly, as I'm around them so much, I absolutely know what the different cries mean.
You had to.
It's just like they said, you don't know why. It's just God's just ability to put this in you, so what's a big deal and what's not. If he screams, like, I can just decipher, like, oh, he's playing with a toy and something didn't go his way. Or he really just hurt himself and I need to go check it out.
Right.
They sound different. So when that stuff started to happen, I'm like, okay, I'm really starting to get into like kind of really knowing this child. Now his personality is really coming out, which I'm just having so much fun with.
Right.
And he's just a goofy child. Right now he does this thing where he just like runs out the bathroom. I'm gonna make a video about it. I've been recording it. He does this thing where he runs out the bathroom and he just says, ta-da, and he flicks his finger up. and he does it, and we start cracking up, and he keeps doing it because we're laughing about it. So it's just letting me know that he's identifying that it's something that's fun or funny, and he continues to do that. And it's the same thing that I do, right? It's just it's you see somebody that's entertained, and you keep trying to entertain them.
Right.
And that's an awesome trait, at least for me, because that's part of my personality. And seeing that in him was like, what? You're doing the same thing that I do? That is nuts, man. So I've met him a few times.
And that's why I was referring to those some characteristics in your son that you see that you're like, oh, this is exactly who I am. And the fact that you can identify it at an early age, you're like, man, how is he going to be like once he reaches puberty, or he's in the teens, and he's an adult. Like, you start to see these defined characteristics, and you're just like, oh man, this is really me. I'm really doing this. I'm really that stubborn. I'm really that annoying at times.
Yeah. It's interesting to see his personality, because he's just running around and talking just so much. And he's trying to manipulate things. One of the things that I really enjoy, and this is going to sound weird to maybe a lot of people that are listening, but I'm really attracted to what happens when I tell him no. Because my personality, I don't know what happens, but anytime somebody just tells me no, it's almost like a gut shot to me. I don't want somebody to tell me no for whatever the reason is.
Right.
I get very motivated to go against that no. Right. In a healthy way. And I like to tell Taj no to see how he reacts to it. Like, so if he's, about to go get, I don't know, a cookie, and I tell him no, don't do it, does he just back down? Does he figure out another way? Does he go for something else? Yeah, I said no cookie, but then he may go for a mango or an apple or something. I don't know. I'm just curious to keep getting data to figure out, like, how does he respond to the word no? Because I think that's very important, because a lot of people are probably going to tell him no, just like a lot of people told me no, just like a lot of people tell you no, and it's how we react to that kind of stuff that sets people apart, I believe. Right? And part of my demeanor is when I think people are counting me out, or I think people are against me, I get incredibly motivated, like you probably wouldn't even understand. Right? So I want to see if Taj has that, so I can figure out how to navigate it, how to nurture it, how to put them in the right positions to be able to deal with that, because it can get to be kind of unhealthy to a point, and that's what I learned about myself. It's almost anything that was against me, I wanted to prove that wrong, and that gets to be kind of unhealthy at a certain point. Right. So if I can identify that in Taj, I can help him kind of navigate that before he even knows that it's coming.
Yeah, it's a parenting skills, or it's a parenting curve that you have to learn. Because the thing is, it's the two of you guys, is you and your wife that's that's raising him. Since she has her own way of doing things, you have your own way. And I can relate to you when you're saying just the word no. I have such a negative vibe when somebody tells me that too as well. It's like, don't tell me no, just give me the reason why. Okay, don't do this. Okay, I understand now. Now you give me a better picture of why I can't do this. So that's what I try and do with my son now, because I know I don't like it. So I'm not going to try to push that on him. So instead of saying no, I said, I don't like this because, or this is not okay. This is going to make me feel bad.
What did your parents do? Did your parents just tell you no, or did they give you an explanation?
Nah. I have Caribbean parents. This is no. There's no explanations. Explanations for adults. Like, I say no, and that's it. There's no explanations. Caribbean parents do not care about explanations.
So is that where you got that from? So were you like, hey, I didn't like that from my parents, so I'm going to give my kid a little bit more explanation. Like, why aren't you just telling your kid just no? Like, why not?
You know what? Again, it's just parenting. I just can say this is the way. If I don't like something, why would I project it on somebody else? This is just my idea about it. Like, if I don't like you, the way you treat me or the way you talk to me, why would I take that same demeanor and then project it on somebody else? That's just how I see things. So instead of doing that, my parenting thing, I was like, I'm going to try to do it the way I feel like. If I don't like it, I'm gonna teach you the way I don't like it, so you can understand. I'm gonna give you a bigger picture, so you won't just see it is black and white, but it's just a whole lot of colors in there. So don't touch this, because one, I don't like it, two, you can get hurt. So if you don't listen to me, this is gonna happen. And this happened before. I was like, don't do it. If you're not gonna listen to me, I'm gonna let you test it, but I'm gonna educate you up front. I'm gonna let you test it. If it hurts, I told you it was gonna hurt. But that's the kind of lessons that I'm teaching my son, where one, I'm learning how to let go, but I'm also teaching him, I'm learning how to let go and just let him make the mistake at times. I don't have to correct him and be on him all the time. I'm just like, all right, go ahead. And the thing is, because of the way I've taught him throughout the years, he knows when he's doing something wrong. So before he does anything wrong, he looks at me and see if I'm going to react, to see if I'm going to say anything, if I'm going to not say anything. Like, he has this tendency of jumping on the bed. It's a thing. So before he jumps in the bed, he looks at me through the corner of his eye to see if I see anything. So he's reading my face. If my face says no, he gets down. If my face don't say anything, he just said, okay, I guess I can continue doing it. And then he would just like jump. I'll just say, go ahead, enjoy yourself. But if I feel like he's going to hurt himself in a way, I said, enough with that. You're going to hurt yourself. And he hears and he stops. So I give you more of an understanding and explanation before I can just say no, because no is just, it's a period without any explanation. So I want to give you a reason why I don't think this is okay. But again, granted, if you want to, by all means, just know that I warned you in the beginning.
So what do you think about the whole do as I say, not as I do mantra?
I do. I mean, I go by do as I say and do as I do as well. I try not to go against. If I say no, and do opposite. I try not to do that. You know, if I say I don't like the way this is being done, it doesn't because he's a kid that he's very observant. If you do something and he sees you get approval from us, he's gonna continue doing it. Just like your son, where you get out the shower and he gives you that finger, he's gonna continue doing it. So he gives you an affirmation. So when I don't give him that affirmation, he knows this is not something that he needs to do or continue doing. So he's gonna do something that's gonna please his mom and his dad. So he's gonna continue doing that. But when you see that he's not getting anything from it, he's gonna stop eventually. So I try not to go by where if I say it, I'm sorry, I try to go by if I say it, I'm going to implement it. This is and when I implement it, the entire house implements it. Both my wife and I implement it. It's not what she does and what I do is different. But it's like we have to be united. If not, he's gonna break us.
Yeah. Exactly. Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's just how it is with us. So this, if you could describe three happy moments as a dad.
Clearly, the day that he was born. That's easy one, right? The day that he was born. I think the day that he started walking was another one, because he kind of went just full on went for it. So as soon as he started walking, it wasn't very long until he was really, really, really walking, right? And then there was the time where he said "Dada" for the first time. After I was just pleading with him. I said, "Just say it one more time. Just say "Dada." Just say it, please." And when he said it, I was just on 10 because I didn't think that he was going to say it. I didn't think that he understood me. He still may not have, but I like to think that he did.
Right.
And he did it in front of my wife, and my wife was pretty upset that that Dada came before Mama, and I'm just glad that she got to hear it out of his out of his mouth. But those milestones are just things that I'm definitely just not going to forget. Where number one, I'm not gonna forget them because I've recorded all of them and put them on my hard drive. Number two, I think that those are just I didn't experience any of that with any nephews or with my friends' kids or anything. So I mean, I'm just all in. Every experience that I've seen on television, every experience that I've seen with my kid or seen with my friends with kids, I'm just excited to be a part of all of that. So those three things are extremely embedded in my head because they're so monumental, in the first couple years of life, right? I remember exactly where I was, I remember what I had on. I actually wrote it all down because it's super strange and weird like that. I like to do things. And I think one day, if I tell that story, I want to describe what the weather was that day. I want to describe what I had on, what state of mind that I was in. Right. I know it's very, very strange, but that's what I've done.
Absolutely. Beautiful. So before we wrap up, I have two more questions for you and I'll let you go. And this one is going to be more, let's get you to think a little bit. Thinking in the future right now, maybe 10, 15 years and now, 20 years, how do you want your kid or your kids to remember you?
I want them to know that I want them to think that I always provided some kind of value, some kind of lessons. That's the big thing, that they learned things from me, and I don't necessarily need them to know that they're learning it when they learn it. I just needed to hit. I'm okay with it hitting them like a ton of bricks at one point.
Okay.
Where they're 20 years old, 25 years old, and they're going through life and they're fixing things, or they're strategically going about something, and they sit down and they say, "My dad showed me that." Oh, and my dad showed me that.
Right.
Actually, my dad showed me a lot of things, or habits that they have. Maybe my wife or friends of the family comes and tell them, "Hey, you got that from your dad," or your dad does that. I just want one day them to see that I've spent so much time with them that everything about me has been literally poured into them.
Right.
And they may not have known it until they got of age to really understand that that's what happened.
Right.
And what that does for me is that puts them in a position to do the same thing with their kid. Right. There was something that happened with my dad where, there's some kind of disconnect where his legacy kind of changed when it got to me and my brother. Right. Before that, it was a lot of violence, a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol and all that kind of stuff. But when it came to us, we kind of changed things up. So in my eyes, from me forward or me down with my kids and my kids' kids, I mean, it's a whole new generation, and I get to mold it however I want to mold it. And what I want to do is leave the kids with not just memories, but like skills.
Right.
And let them know that the things that they learned were from me. And it wasn't like okay, today's Tuesday, it's a lesson day. Every day you learn something.
Right.
So you do the same thing with your kids, and then they'll do the same thing with their kids, and that's how you create good humans.
Yes, absolutely. So as we're wrapping up, there's a lot of fathers out there, a lot of new dads to be, and starting this new journey in dadhood, and not knowing what to do or what to expect, and what to look forward to. What kind of message do you want to leave with the dads out there?
So for the to-be dads, or for the young dads, or the stressed out dads, or whatever kind of dad category you kind of put yourself in, I think the best thing to do is just to live life slowly. Right? I think that we can get wrapped up with work and all of that, and get wrapped up into and really being focused on like the things that we kind of want to do. But I think that if you just live very slowly, and take the long walks with your kid, or let them sit on your lap a little bit longer when it's time to go to bed, let them climb on your back just a little bit more while you're watching TV. I think stuff like that, and actually being present in that moment and say, wow, my kid is climbing on my neck right now, and internalizing that. I think that internalizing those things and living slowly like that will just benefit you more in the future, and you build that library of memories.
Right. Oh, that's beautiful. That's awesome. And that's something always to look forward to, because I mean, a lot of dads out there, sometimes some of them, they don't know what they are getting themselves into. And I'm always encouraged that if you're choosing to be a dad, one, be intentional. Whatever that you do, and anything that you do, be intentional, because there's always somebody's watching, and two, your kids always pay attention more than you think they are, right? So always be intentional with with all your actions, with your wife, with your kids, because you never know who you can impact. You never know what life you can change through your actions, right? Even through your words as well. So you need to be very, very careful about that. And I just want to and I'm happy that I reached out to you and you answered to my call as far as being there, because I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. You're doing what you need to do as a dad. And the reason why I reach out to you is because I'm using you as well as an example. The things that you're doing, the way you go about your son, the way you care for him, the way you love, all that stuff. Like when I say there's a lot of people paying attention, and definitely me, there is. So that's why I say be intentional with your actions. The things that you do, the stuff that you post, it matters. It shows that, a dad in the child's life matters. And all that can, without a dad, it changed the whole dynamics, the whole formula. Sometimes it breaks apart, right? So I've reached out, and I want to just say thank you so much for telling me your journey. Thank you for allowing us to hear your journey and the positivity that you've encountered, for having a great outlook in life, and sharing all that it is to become a dad. Again, I said be intentional, because it really, really makes a difference in every child life that you have encountered.
Yeah, bro, I 100% believe that. And I think that just real fast, I was very excited to be a dad, very excited. So once I get excited like that, there's very little things that can discourage me or anything. But everybody's not like that. Some people that become a dad, it's terrifying. It's a terrifying thought, right? And I don't want to discount those people either. Because yes, I have a level of excitement that's just out of this world. But I also realize that not everybody is like that, and some people need to get in the correct mindset beforehand, before they have a kid, and that's whether that's talking to your friends, talking to your parents, talking to a therapist, and getting yourself together and making sure that you're good before all of this is about to happen. Because it could be life changing. Like I said, for me, it was a awesome adjustment because it just fit my personality so well. But that may not be the case for everybody. It may be a very drastic switch from hanging out, doing whatever you want to do, to now 100% of your attention needs to be focused on this kid. So I think talking to whoever you need to talk to beforehand, get it mentally right, before your kid comes or before you decide to have a kid is very important too.
Absolutely. And like I said, there isn't no guidelines for being a dad. There isn't, because every experience is different. Mine is different, yours is different. So you just got to know, this is your journey that you got to take. The best thing you can do is just like educate yourself and be engulfed and develop as much as you can and growing in every step of your life. But, for me, I enjoy fatherhood. I enjoy dadhood. I love who I have become. He allowed me to become a greater person and pushed me to be more. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing this podcast, because I want to do more so he can know that he can do more in the future. But again, I'm so honored. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed that you are here. I'm still following you, still tracking you. I'm still like taking notes, things that you're doing. And this dad movement is definitely real. And I'm happy to have you be part of that. You're doing a great job, doing a phenomenal job. But again, I just want to applaud you for all that you're doing and continue doing it. And I pray much blessings for you and your family. So as I wrap up. So guys, I just want to say again, thank you for joining me. Thank you, D'Anthony, for everything that you've done, for what you said, the encouraging words, and continue following, continue holding on. This season 3 is powerful, man. It's powerful. There's a lot more to come. I enjoy you guys' company, and I just want to say thank you so much. So I'm not gonna hold you guys any longer. I'm just gonna say catch you in a few later. For more Dear Dad podcasts, visit Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. Make sure you check Dear Dad Podcast on your favorite Instagram social media platform at Dear Dad Podcast. Catch you later.